If you love burned ends, then this is the recipe for you, because this is smoked chicken burned ends. Oh.
Big thanks to Kamado Joe for sponsoring this episode.
Personally, I'm a big fan of pork belly burned ends, but originally it came from Kansas, where they serve the edges of the briskets that are actually burned at the countertop so people can have a little taster. But because people love them so much, they start making them out of pork belly burned ends. And I think now is the time we transition from brisket burned ends, pork belly burned ends, to chicken burned ends. The reason that I'm transitioning to chicken is because chicken is super inexpensive. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some chicken thighs and I'm going to quarter them. Make them into bite-sized chunks. If you got a little bit of fiddly stuff, just get it off. But just delicious chicken thigh, boneless, skinless. It's going to make life easy for you. Cut those in quarters. And of course, I'm going to season the chicken with the PITMASTERX all-purpose classic barbecue seasoning. Just going to sprinkle it on. First, a little base layer of flavor. And this has got the classic barbecue profile. The recipe's on our website if you want to make this at home, or you can buy this in our web shop, shop.pitmasterx.com. Make sure that you get plenty of it on. Massage it in. I'm going to place these chicken bites on a rack. Once I got everything loaded up the rack, it's time to fire up the barbecue. Now I'm going to be smoking this on my Kamado Joe Connected Joe. I'm going to open it up, put some charcoal in, hit the ignition button, and then set the temperature to smoke with the slow roller at 120 degrees Celsius. And once we reach that temperature, I'm going to open up the barbecue and slide in the chicken. And I'm just going to wait until that smoke flavor penetrates that chicken and make it taste freaking delicious. I've been smoking now for, let me quickly check, an hour and about 45 minutes. Now, I want to take a look together with you at that chicken, because this is what you want to see. Look at that. You can clearly see that we got a beautiful brown color from the smoke. And it is cooked to the point where it kind of almost falls apart. Now, you don't want to take it any further than that, because even though I'm looking for that kind of fall apart texture, I still want to add some more flavor. Let's take that chicken out. Ooh, that looks good. I'm just going to wiggle it, and I want to get these chunks separated. So if at all they are connected, just separate them. Oh, this smells so fantastic. Oh man, I wish I could eat it right now. This is going to be so good. I don't know why I haven't done this before. I understand why we went to the pork belly, but now I'm really thinking, wow, this smells so good. Why did we never move to chicken too? Oh, so good, so good. But not finished yet. More flavor, more flavor. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of butter to make everything nice, rich and creamy, because chicken in the end is a little bit lean, so it can do with a little bit of butter. I'm also going to sprinkle on some dark brown sugar to make it nice, sweet and sticky. Now, for the last ingredient that I'm going to add is this barbecue sauce. And let me tell you, I just created this and it is amazing. As you can see, I make this and then, oh, it's in my face. I made this 2 weeks ago. Oh man. You see? That's the way that you know that you had a good seal on your, your barbecue sauce jar. Wow. What I wanted to say is that I made this for the salmon. And that salmon was freaking amazing, but the barbecue sauce, I made it with cranberries. And the flavors were so amazing that I stored this in my fridge, and I now want to try it on this chicken. And this recipe is super easy to make. All you gotta do is take a cup of water, about 340 grams of cranberries, 75 grams of sugar, 300 milliliters of Worcester sauce, a cup of ketchup, a tablespoon of honey. I also added a tablespoon of the Tweety barbecue seasoning. Let it come up to a boil and let it simmer until you see the cranberries start falling apart. Then you're going to take out your hand mixer and blend the whole thing up into a smooth puree. Strain it, and then you end up with the most delicious barbecue sauce you've ever tasted. I promise you, this is one that's not going to disappoint. This is something that you can make at home, super easy. The cranberries are a bit healthy. And you're going to have an endless supply of delicious barbecue sauce that nobody else has. It's super unique, but everybody's going to love and appreciate the flavors of this barbecue sauce. Now, a couple of tablespoons in this tray is going to be enough. I'm going to put this back on the barbecue, but I'm not going to cover it with aluminum foil. I want this to get nice and sticky. So I'm going to put it in as is. There we go. Close the lid. This is probably going to take another half hour to cook or so and to get it nice and sticky, but it's going to be so delicious. I almost can't wait. It's going to be good. And then, it looks like this. Wow. That looks absolutely freaking delicious. If you could just smell this, it is insane. Look at those nice and sticky chicken bits. If you serve this up at a game day or like a party or whatever, you're gonna be king. You can just have these little bits with a toothpick and then take a bite out of it. I think it's that barbecue sauce. It tastes so good. Wow. I'm gonna show you how good this is. This chicken is so tender, it's insane. All right, let me get a good bit. You see this? You see that little piece right there? Just watch this. If I squeeze it with my fingers, it falls apart. And this is still very juicy. It's tender. This chicken is just absolutely perfect. Cooked to perfection, and I didn't measure any temperatures. I'm just eyeballing it. And of course, you can always do a quick taste test to make sure that it tastes good. But it's so super easy to cook this. 2.5 hours of smoking, half an hour getting sticky to make it burned ends. The flavor is so good. I know I'm saying it for the third time, but the recipe is on our website because you gotta make the cranberry barbecue sauce. So good.